Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 guide. Hope you're all doing well. It's been a long time since I've gotten to say that, but there is a brand new character, the Beastmaster, that just released in the mini update today at time of recording. And this character centers around having pets, which are a new item type that was also added in the update. The pets will run around autonomously doing damage and being able to clear enemies without you having to intervene at all. And the Beastmaster uses them instead of weapons. So this character can't equip weapons, gets to start with one of the pets, gets 10 starting luck and extra speed for every pet you have, as well as a loot worm, which will pick up materials for us and kill trees, since we can't kill trees ourselves without any weapons. Our pet damage, which normally scales off of only one damage type, also scales off of every damage type. So everything that we can build will increase the damage of our pets. The main challenge for this character is that we don't have weapons ourselves. So we're not going to be able to easily protect ourselves, and our damage will be somewhat unfocused. So our goal is going to be to overcome those downsides. We just start with one of the 4 pets, the Bonk Dog, Catling Gun, Blazemander, and Bottomine. And I'm going to start with the Blazemander. I think that is overall the best starting pet because its damage is very spread out, so it's going to be able to kill a lot of enemies in the early game, especially when we might not have additional pets, because of course we're going to need to find extra pets. Also, I'm letting our loot worm pick up all the materials for us. It has a 10% chance to double materials that it picks up, so we want to let it get most of the material pickups. Just like most other characters on the first wave, I'm going to roll here looking for harvesting, and I'll roll up to 3 times, because if we get the 5 harvesting, you pretty much make that money back right away. Since we missed each time, I'll take 5 luck. Increasing our luck is going to be really important as well. Now, for a normal character, you would be rolling on level 1 for weapons, and the Beastmaster is actually not an exception to that, because normally you'd be rolling for weapons. We can't roll weapons, but we want to hard roll in the first few shops until we find pets. The Ratzilla will allow us to clear more enemies, so we're actually going to buy that. We'll buy really strong economy items if we find them, but what we're mostly going to be doing in the first couple shops is re-rolling until we find more rats. So I'm not going to lock anything here. I'm not going to buy anything unless it's extraordinarily strong. I'm thinking fertilizers and bags. We really just want to roll for rats. When we get 2, we can start buying other items, and in fact here, we're going to go ahead and take the tree and the gentle alien. These are both really nice finds as well. The Beastmaster is more likely to find pets in the shop. Characters typically will have increased weighting on certain items in the shop, and the Beastmaster's is even stronger than normal. So a normal character is, I think, 10% more likely to find items that it is more likely to find, and the Beastmaster, I believe, is 20%. So you're fairly likely to find more pets on each reroll. Roll here, and again, we're looking for harvesting, and then I'll roll 1 more time. We missed again, so we'll just take 5 more luck, and then we'll buy a Ratzilla. And then I'm going to do another reroll, and okay, well, this is definitely a powerful roll. Getting the Blazemander this early is a little unlikely, but the rats are definitely likely, so we're just going to lock every item in the shop here. Having high luck, of course, means that level 2 items like the Blazemander are more likely to show up. But this is definitely, I would say, a slight high roll. Getting that crate is really good, and if our loot worm isn't going to pick up a bunch of materials, so I'm picking up the materials over on the edge here, because I want it to be focusing its pickups on the big groups of materials. You do still want to pick up all the materials in the wave, rather than try to save them for next wave and try to get the loot worm to pick them up. So it's very important to make sure that we're paying attention to whether it's going to get stuff so that we have money to spend in each shop. We'll take a garden for sure, and snail, definitely not bad. Slowing enemy speed means it'll be easier for us to avoid those enemies and let our pets kill them instead. Because our damage scales with every damage type, our pets scale with every damage type, and that includes the burning from the Blazemander, we're typically going to be buying melee damage. You buy melee damage at an increased rate compared to all the other damage types. Note that we get 2 melee damage and only 1 elemental damage here. So usually we're going to buy melee damage items to scale our pet damage. That said, I'm still looking for harvesting. We can finally pick some up. Attack speed and range do nothing on pets, so those are completely blank stats for this character for the most part. We won't be taking those. Every other stat works with pets. So lifesteal works with pets, crit chance works with pets, damage and percent damage all work with the pets. Just attack speed and range don't. That said, here, I think I'm going to take 9 dodge. This is going to be a fairly high economy run, I think, because we're off to a pretty good start. So we can benefit from building dodge. You also really do need to build good defenses on this character, because you don't have weapons, your weapons aren't focusing down the enemies near you, so you need to make sure that you have the ability to survive incoming damage. Although we can build some engineering and we get some splash damage, I'm still just going to ban the landmines here. This way, we are more likely to find other level 1 items. On the Beastmaster, you mostly want to ban level 2 items, but banning the landmines just means that we're more likely to find more rats, more gentle aliens and trees, stuff like that. I could have locked the landmines and then tried to buy the other 3 items and ban the mines. But I didn't think we would necessarily have enough money to guarantee buying everything in the shop, so just banning the landmines there. We haven't used any of our bans yet, so we're just using them early to improve our shops. You don't get a choice, really, as to whether you're killing the curse aliens, so you kind of have to hope that your pets are going to do that, and they've done an okay job. Let's reroll here, and I'll reroll again. We're really getting unlucky finding harvesting, but I'll take 4 melee damage. Our damage output on our pets is starting to get a little bit low. We've got the Lost Duck as well. Okay, so I could have bought these 3 and banned landmines, but we'll buy these 3 and ban Peaceful Bee. We don't want to lose 1 melee and 1 ranged damage, because that's going to decrease the damage of all of our pets by 2 instances, because since they benefit from all the damage types. So we'll just get rid of Peaceful Bee from the pool. That gets us a free reroll because we banned the last item in the shop, and we can go to the next wave. Although I banned landmines, I think I am going to take the turret here, and the reason for that is that turret is going to focus damage a little better. It just does more total damage than landmines usually as well, and it's very cheap. And we'll lock the rat. I'll throw in 1 more reroll here. We'll definitely take Scared Sausage as well. We will end up building some elemental damage. And then Terrified Onion, a pretty weak item, but Small Fish is a great item for this character because we don't care about attack speed at all, so increasing our damage at the cost of attack speed is great. Given that, I'm going to lock the Terrified Onion, and we'll get another free reroll by banning it after buying the other 3. So this is going fairly well. We've got really good income on our pets. Now this is a challenge, so if you are tuning in after some of the updates, you might not have seen this guy before, the Gobbler here. The Gobbler will eat all the materials on the map, and can cost you a lot of materials as a result of that. Oh, our loot worm ran away without picking up all of those because a tree spawned, and it'll prioritize grabbing the tree. So you can see I'm picking up materials that our loot worm isn't going to be able to get. I could take 3 lifesteal. That would give us some healing. Although the pets work with lifesteal, I typically prefer regen on this character. It's just more reliable, but I'll just take the level 3 upgrade, and then we'll take 10 more harvesting. Still trying to reach 20 harvesting. So we're going to buy all of these items. We'll ban the Terrified Onion, and then we'll take a reroll, buy yet another rat, and I'll buy Baby Gecko as well. So this item has a unique interaction with the loot worm. The loot worm gets 10% extra, 10% chance to double materials when it picks them up. The Baby Gecko will pull materials preferentially to the loot worm. So we'll be able to get this trigger to happen more frequently. Loot worm also works with items like Cute Monkey and Baby Elephant. Anything that involves picking up materials will work with the loot worm, so it's very good for that type of item. We'll take propeller hat and head injury as well. We don't care about losing range, even more than most characters don't care about losing range, because it doesn't affect our pets at all. I'll definitely take the blindfold, and scope, I'm probably just going to ban. Although we can build ranged damage on this character, 77 for just 2 damage is not super efficient. And that lets us ban a level 2 item, get a free reroll, and we can find more pets. Obviously, our double Blazemanders are doing well, but we would like some more of the level 2 damage pets, because that's how we're really going to start scaling to the point where enemies can't stay on the field at all. So with your character here, you want to basically just run around. You should have a lot of movement speed, and you just need to dodge enemy attacks, so we're just waiting for our pets to kill stuff. The challenge with this character is the middle waves like these, which is why we want to roll for a lot of pets early. Because this is before we have so much damage on the field that nothing is surviving, but we also don't yet have enough defenses, and we don't have weapons to protect ourselves, so we can often take some hits. I'll take 8 harvesting here, and then we'll just take 12% damage. I'm just taking the higher level upgrades. And then we'll buy these 3 items that we have locked. We'll ban the scope, take a reroll here, and we'll buy a bag as well. Sharp Bullet does work with our pets. We don't currently have any pets that have projectiles, but we will want piercing shots when we get the Catling gun or the bottom mine, so we'll take that. I'm gonna pass on another turret and an injection. I don't think that these are worth locking here. We have very low HP, which I definitely need to fix, so I don't want to reduce my health by taking injection. Especially because rats scale with all the damage types because we're a Beastmaster, but their normal scaling is off of your maximum health. So they still get the max HP scaling, so our rats will be doing a lot more damage once we have built up a decent amount of HP. Got a lucky dodge there. I was going to take that hit. But basically, I'm just going to run in a loop this wave and wait for our pets to kill the more dangerous enemies. So I'm kind of doing like figure eights over here. You can see that that is allowing our pets to kill everything in the center, letting our loot worm pick up most of the materials, and the enemies are not hitting us, except for that time, because they're always going to be following behind me. Another pet, great, that's exactly what we want. We currently have no armor, so I will take 3 armor even over 9 HP. I want both of these stats, but 0 armor is very difficult to play in this game. Bottom mine, great. So this is, I think starting with the Blazemander is better because it does AoE damage, but bottom mine I think is the most powerful pet overall. This will follow you around, which means that it's actually going to protect the Beastmaster character. So the bottom mine will help keep us alive. We don't need to buy movement speed because every pet we get gives us movement speed. So we're just going to ban the beanie here. And then we'll take a reroll. And it showed up kind of for free, so I'll take the turret here. We're also very happy to see Lure and Little Muscly Dude, and the Dock Moth, of course, is going to help us heal. This is another new item, gives us more movement speed because it's a pet, and we'll lock this entire shop. Amazing shop for us. The Little Muscly Dude is one of the best items we could find as well. 3 melee damage is really nice for scaling our pet's damage. So you can see our robot here is following us and helping keep us alive. It will also poop out landmines, so when we're standing still, we'll build up a minefield, which we can use to defend ourselves. I don't yet quite have enough bottom mines or enough damage that we can just remain motionless, but later on in the run, we will be able to do that. So I'm picking up a bunch of materials here because our loot worm isn't going to be able to get all of them. I hope it does get to that tree in time. Nice, it did kill it. Yeah, we'll definitely take a fish hook. Of course, this is a great item. Cursing all of the items that we're buying is going to be awesome. We'll take 3 more armor here. Now we have a much more reasonable amount of armor, so we're much healthier. We'll take these items, and I'll wait on the Dock Moth. When you get this cursed, its aura, the size of the aura increases, so it's going to double our regeneration in a much larger area, so cursing this is amazing. Then I'll take a reroll, I'll lock a fruit basket, I'll buy the insanity as well, and I'll lock snake, because we have scared sausage, we have double blazemander, so spreading fire is pretty good, and we want to lock stuff because we have a fish hook, so if we can get anything cursed, that's always going to help us. Especially after the first couple waves, I would strongly advise not really paying attention to whether you or the loot worm is picking up materials. 10% is nice, but you should really just be focusing on making sure that you're surviving and your movement is good. You need to keep consumables so that you can heal. Trying to maximize the loot worm pickups is just going to get you in trouble. I will let it grab that huge field of materials, though. But it's going to run off over to the tree, so we're going to get the ones on the right side here. Oh, another loot alien spawn. So we got 3 spawning this wave, which is awesome. And triple crate. And here we go, yet another new pet. We got a bonk dog. So this guy will charge and do an explosion, so it can clear large groups of enemies as well. Gentle alien, great. We'll take the tentacle as well. We have decent crit chance, and the pets can critically hit, and tentacle and hunting trophy will trigger off of the critical hits from the pets. So it's a really nice synergy there. I could take 5% crit chance for more healing. I could also take 3 engineering. We have... It will scale our pet damage. It will also scale our double turret. I think I'm going to take the engineering here. I'm feeling a little low on damage. With only 2 regen, though, let's just take 3 more. And then we'll buy this entire shop. Of course, our fish hook did nothing. Let's reroll. I'll take the treasure map. And celery tea I might lock, because a cursed celery tea is really nice. So let's buy the weird food, and if we get the fishhook proc. We'll lock eye surgery and celery tea. Small magazine, and I can just go ahead and ban. We don't care about the attack speed, so let's... well, I'm going to buy reinforced steel, because this is +5 damage, which is pretty good for this character. Maybe we get it cursed. I'm also going to lock the small magazine. If it gets cursed, we might buy it. If it doesn't, we'll use our ban for a free reroll after buying the other 3 items. So you can see here we've got the Dock Moth aura. This will double the effect of our lifesteal and regeneration while we're inside it. You don't need to remain inside it all the time, but it is very helpful to have this tool to retreat to once we take... If we take a big hit. So you can see there, I ran in, I took some damage, and we heal a little faster because we're getting 2 HP every time a regen procs. Because my regeneration and lifesteal aren't that high, it's more helpful for me to pick up consumable heals than to worry about the moth aura at this point. But that will be a very useful tool once we get a little bit more damage. Gonna run away from that cursed lamprey. That's... one of the ways that we could die is if a really dangerous cursed enemy gets on top of us. And you do have to be careful with this character because, as always, you're not pushing enemies away, you don't have knockback on weapons, and your damage isn't focused. You're not killing enemies that are close to you, so you do need to be careful with your movement and make sure that your defenses are really good. We'll take the Ugly Tooth. This does work with our pet, so it's going to slow things down. We'll take 6 more melee damage. Our fishhook is embarrassing itself. But let's buy all of these items. I think that we can get away with the celery tea, even though it didn't get cursed. And then we'll ban the small magazine. We'll roll here. I definitely don't want a second celery tea this wave, because that would triple enemy health, which would be incredibly dangerous. But let's lock the celery tea. I'll buy the pearl. I'll buy Blood Leech as well. We just need more healing. And then we're going to go ahead and ban the compass. I don't want to lose crit chance. 3 engineering is fine, but we don't need movement speed either. So we'll just get another level 2 item out of the way. Cake, I'll take. Butterfly, I don't want. Incendiary turret. We have actually okay engineering, so the incendiary turret's not terrible. I'm going to lock it, and I'll re-roll here. And the reason I'm re-rolling is that we have fishhook, so I want to lock something. Even though we're only rolling one shop slot there. But basically, every item you lock with fishhook, assuming it ever procs, is like buying 1/5 of an item, because a cursed item is roughly double the value of a normal item. So when you lock an item with fishhook and get a 20% chance of getting a cursed item, it's very... the math works out where it's like buying 1/5 of an item on average every time you lock there. So you can get those very cheap rerolls and use those to get really good value when you have fishhook. This wave is going to be more dangerous, so you'll see I'm doing some movement around the edge of the map here, and we're picking up the consumables that we have good consumable healing for, because this is a celery tea wave, so I'm going to run back to my garden there and heal back up. And a celery tea wave is always going to be more dangerous, because the enemies have more health, so that's why we took damage and looked a little weaker that wave. I'll take Clockwork Wasp for sure. The extra structure attack speed does work with our bottom mine. So this guy is both a pet and a structure, so it benefits from the extra structure attack speed. That's also, by the way, one of the cases where actual attack speed can be okay. If you get improved tools on this character, then you'll get and a bunch of bottom mines, then you can use high attack speed. I don't recommend building for that because it needs a specific combo, but if those items happen to all show up in the same shop, or if you get a bunch for free, you can end up with a more attack speed focused build. Another bonk dog, great. We're going to go ahead and just ban the white flag here. This is a level 2 item we never want, so we're just getting rid of it. And then let me, I think, just take 6 more melee damage. I could roll for a defensive stat. We do need more armor. I want more dodge. I want more max health. I guess 34 is really low. So let's roll. I'm going to roll until we get 9 max HP here. And then here I'll take 4 engineering. Obviously, it was the least valuable item that we cursed, but we're still going to buy it. I think we can get away with the celery tea in a horde wave. If you're nervous about the next wave here, just don't buy celery tea, but I'm feeling like we're pretty strong, so I'm going to go ahead and pick that up. And then we'll definitely buy a Catling gun, and we'll lock all of these other items. Take our free reroll, we'll lock a baby squid. Again, if we curse any of these, it's great. Catling gun will... So the unique effect of the Catling gun is that it gets extra attack speed when you or your pet are near it. And so it's going to increase its attack speed, and we can use it and the bot to set up kind of a fortress. So we're going to use our Catling guns, extra attack speed, and our bottom mines, just the fact that it stays near us, to set up a defensive area where the enemies will mostly die when they get too close to this. Because this is a celery tea wave, again, we're under a little more pressure this wave, but as you can see, our damage is high enough on our pets that we are able to survive even the celery tea wave. I am going to have to run here because we killed that blob fish, so we're going to run away, we're going to pick up some consumables, and because we have good consumable healing, we can reliably just go get those. I got greedy with the celery tea, but if you're nervous at all going into these waves, you do not need to pick that up. Generally speaking, that item is only if you're very ahead, and in this case I felt comfortable grabbing it, but there's no particular requirement to pick it up. It does make the wave more dangerous. I'll just take the 7% crit chance here. It's a level 3 upgrade, and similarly with the 12% damage. This is one of the worst fish hooks I've ever seen. This is like 5 waves in a row. We've had 4 items locked, and we've gotten 1 cursed plant. Classic. But anyways, we're still going to buy all these items. We'll roll here. Pile of books. So our structures, the bottom mine can already critically hit because it's a pet, and pets can critically hit. But this will let our turrets critically hit, which isn't terrible. And 3% crit chance, 3 engineering is fine. The question is, what do I want to try to curse and what do I want to buy? I think I'm definitely going to try to curse Insanity. We care about both damage and crit chance. So if we curse it, then it will increase the positive stat and decrease the negative stat. So we get kind of double value there. So I think we're going to buy Pile of Books. We care more about the effect than the stats. We'll buy Blazemander and we'll lock the Ratzilla. And we'll roll here. I'll roll again. I guess I'll lock both of these items. I probably won't buy them if they don't get cursed, but I will if they do, so might as well lock them. So if we get like one more cat or one more bot, we can basically just AFK forever, especially because these are not Celery Tea waves, so you can see our pets are just killing everything as soon as it spawns. The only reason we were at any risk in the last 2 waves is the Celery Teas that we bought. But you can see how much my pets are just not moving some of the time, like our cat and our dog there, or our rat and our dog over on the right-hand side just went AFK. That's because everything on the field was dead, so they had nothing to go after. The cat will move randomly around the map, except when it's in its angry state. So you usually want to avoid letting it start moving, because you never know where it's going to go, and it might go somewhere very irrelevant. It'll run straight to the side and just sort of hang out. Appropriate for a cat. We'll take the Claw Tree here. We can definitely get away with taking Bait. We're not going into an Elite Wave, so we'll pick this up for 8% more damage. Then we'll take a Plant for more regeneration, take 4 more regeneration, and now we're in much better shape in terms of our healing. We got a Cursed Rat, and that increases the damage scaling on all the types of scaling that this pet has, so it does 30 damage a hit. The numbers on these items don't look incredible. You know, it looks 17 damage a hit. A normal weapon at this point in the game might be doing 100 damage. But these are constantly attacking no matter where the enemies are on the field. And you can have dozens of them. So the damage just adds up really quickly. 12% crit chance is great here. We'll take the pencil as well. My max HP is quite low, but I think the Bone Dice is still worth it. Jelly Shield, another great pet for this character specifically, because normally I think that this pet is not a phenomenal buy, because only blocking 1 projectile is just not that impactful. But for this character, our whole challenge with the Beastmaster is trying to defend your actual character. So Jelly Shield gives you a good way to do that, and it can make it, once you get multiples of these, which you're much more likely to do on the Beastmaster, it can make certain boss fights significantly easier. So let's try to curse it. If you get the Jelly Shield cursed, it gives you armor. And we'll take these 2, we'll lock the fin, and we'll roll, and then we'll lock both of these and try to curse them as well. I'm buying the Shady Potion there instead of the Jelly Shield, because Shady Potion gives us luck, so it's an economy item. And when you're deciding between multiple items to buy, a good rule of thumb is just buy the economy item first, because you'll get more value out of it. So you saw there, I took a hit at the start of the wave. We used our Moth Aura to heal up really quickly. We're going to stay near the cat so that the cat can stay angry. I like watching the Cursed Rat just zip around, just chewing on things. I am going to start picking up some materials because our loot worm is having a struggle here. Need to help the little guy out. Yeah, we'll take the toolbox. We don't care about losing attack speed. 6 engineering is great, of course. I have 51 maximum health. I think I will start building more dodge, so I'm going to take 9 dodge here. this fishhook, kind of unreal. I'm not going to buy Fin because it didn't get cursed. I was interested in it if it did get cursed, but since it didn't, we won't buy it. We will buy a Pearl. It's extra % damage and extra chance of finding pearls. At this point in the game, we don't need the fertilizer. My max HP is kind of low, though, so I'll buy the padding. I don't need another snake, probably. We've already got one, and one is usually enough on most characters. So let's re-roll that. We'll lock the Wandering Bot, Clockwork Wasp, and Helmet. And I guess I'm just going to lock everything and see what gets cursed. So here's our Jelly Shield. And you'll see as projectiles spawn, it's going to eat those projectiles. Now this elite doesn't spawn projectiles, it has these slashes instead. So our job is just to use our high movement speed to just run away. It's going to place these slashes under us. So as long as we keep moving in a big circle around the map, the elite will hit us very rarely, we'll heal back up pretty quickly, and our pets will just take it out. The rats don't aggro to elites and bosses. They only aggro to other enemies. It was too in the beta they used to, but they were just slaughtering elites much too quickly, so they removed their ability to aggro to elites. But the other pets will, so the other pets will take out the bosses for you. Estes Couch, we have lots of movement speed. We do not want Estes Couch, so we're going to go ahead and recycle that. We would lose a ton of... Oh, actually, hang on. So because we're the Beastmaster, all our movement speed is temporary, because it comes from the pets. So it doesn't count for Estes Couch. So actually, in this case, we are going to buy Estes Couch, and we'll get a bunch of regeneration here while maintaining high speed, because Estes Couch only costs you, only costs you regeneration, only cares about your permanent speed stat. And the speed from the Beastmaster's pets, from the Beastmaster's passive, counts as temporary. This isn't really explained very well anywhere in the game, but these conditional bonuses, like plus 2% speed for every pet you have, are usually counted as temporary. So Estes Couch doesn't see this 36% speed, and in fact only sees that we now have highly negative speed. So this is one of the cases where this is actually a good item. It still costs us 20% speed, but we'll be able to fix that by buying more pets, and we just got 70 regeneration. Take the tentacle here. We'll take 2 more armor as well. We did get 1 cursed item. Buying negative speed is now good for us because it's going to give us regeneration. We'll take Wandering Bot as well. And that gives us temporary movement speed because the Wandering Bot is a pet. So that's going to increase our move speed back up to 10 after we bought -2, but give us even more regen. Now, the Clockwork Wasp, I'm not going to buy now because it would cost me 10 regeneration. So even though the structure attack speed is good, I don't want to lose that much regeneration. But we will buy Dangerous Bunny. That gives me a free reroll. We'll buy Lemonade, and we'll lock Campfire. This is 6 regeneration because -2% speed, and the elemental damage is good. And then we're about to buy two elemental damage items, so I'll lock the Snowball as well, and we can get value off the Snowball. It's fairly rare that you actually get value off of Snowball, but when you have 2 other elemental items in the shop, it's a guaranteed +2, and maybe we get more later if we get other good elemental damage items, and in those cases, it's definitely worth buying. Kind of a fun run. We have had a couple slightly unusual things happen, but that is obviously part of the game. But you should still be able to use this as a guide for winning with Beastmaster. The goal basically is just roll for as many pets and defenses as you can. And then you just use the fact that the character is inherently really powerful, because getting all of these pets with all this extra damage scaling is just going to clear the waves very, very quickly. There's no particular reason for me to stay in the Moth Aura here. I'm just doing it mostly for fun, though I should be picking up some of these materials that our worm isn't going to grab. I'll take another turret here. I definitely don't need more regeneration, so let's fix our elemental damage a bit. We're going to buy the Snowball, of course, before we buy the other elemental damage items. And then we get exactly enough to buy Cauldron. We'll take a reroll here. I will lock the... I don't really need Sad Tomato. 80 regeneration is plenty. I do want a little more maximum health, So I'll lock the spicy sauce, and I guess the weird ghost as well, because with 80 regen, it's just not dangerous, even going into an elite wave. And then, nice, we get another jelly shield. Banner, we definitely don't need. This is the 2 stats that don't work for this character, so it's a completely useless item. But we'll take a lemonade as well. Weird Ghost is also much easier to work with when you have the Doc Moth, because you can use the aura to quickly heal back up at the start of the wave. And you can see, because we have Estes Couch, we are able to heal super quickly right now, even when I took that damage. Our 80 regeneration is effectively 160 regeneration when we're in the aura as well, so we have just absurd amounts of healing on this character. If you get multiple moths, the auras will stack additively. So if you're in the aura from 2 moths, you'll get 3 HP for every 1 you would normally get, which is ridiculously strong. We'll take Cyberball, just more damage, and then we get a free Pearl. We got lucky enough to find one of these. 7% more damage is great. Don't care about losing attack speed. Love to gain percent damage, so Missile is awesome there. And then we'll take the level 4 upgrade. We'll buy another Jelly Shield. We'll buy the Spicy Sauce and the Weird Ghost. I don't really need the Weird Ghost with 70 HP, but I'm going to buy it anyways just to sort of show off how cool it is, that we can use it. We want the Wandering Bot. It's a pet. We want the Ghost outfit. I actually don't want Cursed Wandering Bot because that comes with movement speed, so it would reduce my regeneration. So we're going to buy this and try not to get it cursed. I'll take the Dynamite because it works with our Bonk Dog explosions. We'll buy Fruit Basket as well, and then we'll roll, and hey, we got another Jelly Shield. So we'll have the full triple shield, and that's really strong going into the elite waves. Also, the Ghost outfit's going to give us a bunch of dodge, and because it's cursed, it doesn't cost us that much. We also like losing the movement speed because it's going to give us 6 regeneration. I do need to remember I will have 1 HP at the start of this wave going into the elite wave, but as you can see, that's not really that much of a concern given how much regeneration we have. So this elite, we can use the Jelly Shield to eat because this one is constantly orbited by projectiles, the Jelly Shield doesn't actually work. It just respawns these, but you can see I'm going to eat some of the projectiles from other enemies just to kind of show off how it works. When the Jelly Shield intersects a projectile at all, it absorbs it, and that projectile doesn't do damage. When there's only 1 shield, it's not that useful, but when you have 2 of them, like you saw there, you can eat a bunch of projectiles, and it makes it a lot safer to run around. My advice with Jelly Shield also is don't pay attention to what the shield is doing. Use it as a passive that occasionally blocks projectiles. Try to dodge normally. If you pay too much attention to what the shield is doing or try to like intercept, it's going to make your movement more complicated, and you'll end up taking more damage than you would if you just ignored it. I actually do want to build dodge, and our max HP is fine, so we're going to recycle the acid here. Definitely taking the wolf helmet, 20 luck, 20 or 10 elemental damage. We'll take another wandering bot, 2% more move speed. We'll take an incendiary turret. 4 armor is great. Our armor is actually quite low, so getting a little more armor is awesome. Cursed Jelly Shield, as you can see, comes with armor, which makes it one of the best items in the game to curse. Anytime you get extra armor, it's always great. Armor being generally the best stat in this game. And we'll lock the Blazemander. Mastery is damage positive, but it's only +3, because you lose 3 range damage, gain 6 melee damage, so pretty expensive for what you actually get from it. The Starfish, we definitely don't need going into the last wave, but I'm going to buy it just for fun, to show off how strong we are. Boiling Water is 3 elemental damage, because we do have the Snowball. By the way, I usually don't like to pay attention to Snowball. You should decide whether an item is good, mostly not taking this into account. But when you it does make the difference between 3 damage for 100 or 2 damage for 100, and 3 damage is a lot more palatable at this point in the game. Let's reroll. We'll take the Shady Potion. The extra luck is still useful even in the last wave because it will work with our pearls. And now we've got 3 Jelly Shields. We're much safer from enemy projectiles. The Wandering Bots still aren't very good. They do slow enemies, but this item is still fairly weak. I just like buying it on the Beastmaster because it's a pet, so, you know, it's on theme. But you can definitely skip out on buying Wandering Bot on this character. What I really like about this character is you end up just with a truly absurd late game. You can see how much damage we're doing. And this is with only 1 bot and only 1 cat. Your average run will probably have a lot more of these, and then you just won't ever be in any danger. You can always just go AFK in your big field of pets. Now, pick up materials here. This is the end of the run, so anything that we don't pick up, we just lose. Sure, we'll take a Blood Leech. Poisonous Tonic. I don't care about the range or attack speed, but 5 crit chance isn't bad. We'll take a free Pearl here, and then what do I need for damage? Probably flat damage. We've got 22 Elemental, 17 Melee, but and 17 Engineering, but I think 8 melee damage is going to be better than most other things we could roll. I could also roll for dodge. Going up to 50 dodge would make us a lot safer against the bosses, but I think killing them faster is going to matter the most. Take the Blazemander, and then we'll just buy all of these items, and then fried rice would be pretty nice for this character as well if we didn't have 85 regeneration, but let's just take the propeller hat. Obviously, we would like the Blazemander, but can't afford it. And then I'm just going to do a couple more rerolls, both for fun, just to see what items there are, and also because we have the we have the bone dice, so rerolling has a chance to give us percent damage, though it did cost me an HP that time. Power generator, the inverse of Estes Couch, where because it counts only our permanent speed, it's really bad for us. Another shop full of good items, but nothing that we can afford, of course. So let's go to the next wave. Triple Jelly Shield should make the bosses much easier. Also, on Abyssal Terrors, the threat from these bosses is mostly their projectiles. So the Triple Jelly Shield really helps make you a lot safer. 1 Jelly Shield is not very impactful, 2 is pretty good, and 3 is phenomenal. So this is an item that you really want to get in multiples, which pretty much only the Beastmaster can do reliably. Because your shop is so heavily weighted towards finding pets, you're much more likely to find Jelly Shields on this character. So you can actually do it. Other characters, because it's a level 3 item, usually will not be able to reliably find multiple Jelly Shields. So there you can see we got our achievement for winning a run. Of course, I had played this character a bunch in the beta, so this isn't my first Beastmaster run, but we got our achievement and got the unlock of the Beastmaster's unique pet, the Scapegoat, which is going to take damage for us, so enemies will attack it instead of you. This item's actually pretty solid. It can prevent a lot of damage. There are runs that want it and runs that don't, but the runs that do want it, it's pretty nice. Taking a look at our items here, you can see that our Blazemanders dealt 175,000 damage, and 140,000 from our rats, of which we had 8, because there was a cursed one somewhere in here as well. Our turrets actually dealt 36k, so these did quite well, the turrets. We got these for very cheap, fairly early. Our Scared Sausage dealt 50,000, and an important thing about Scared Sausage as well is it has a hidden passive where it increases the damage of burning effect by 1, just flat 1 damage. So it increases the Blazemander damage by 1. It also means all our rats and stuff were able to set things on fire. 555 materials from bags, kind of low given that we had 2 bags and over 100 luck, so a little unlucky there. 60k damage from the bottom mines. Huge savings on the Dangerous Bunny, because this 260 is, you get a lot more than that, because it makes every future reroll cheaper as well. Fishhook was truly terrible. You can see here we got the fishhook, and then our first cursed item was like 20 items later. Kind of unreal how bad the fishhook was, and then our next one was 10 more items after that. And that's with 60 curse, so we were kind of unlucky rolling into cursed items naturally as well. Bonk Dogs dealt 100k damage. We got 50 healing from Tentacles, 85 healing from the Moth, 3 items from the treasure map, so it was very good there. We ended level 26. I probably didn't need the second celery tea, but it's kind of fun that we got it. And then 80k damage on the cat, 18k on baby elephant, and bone dice a little under the normal ratio, 10 gained for 3 lost. The normal is 5 to 1, so you'd expect 10 gained for 2 lost. And then 99 intercepted projectiles on our triple jelly shield, many of which were in the last wave, so it helped make the boss wave faster. But the real star of this run was Este's Couch, which gave us a ton of regeneration thanks to the unique interaction with Beastmaster. Alright, my friends, hope that you've enjoyed this run, and I hope if you're looking to get a win with the Beastmaster that this helps you out. If you have any questions about the character or how the mechanics work, definitely let me know in the comments. And of course, if you have enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit the like button. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.